Hello everyone, this is NASCAR Dog 48, and I'm gonna make a little bit of a different video, and it's about cars are driven to win once again, and the reason why I'm making another video about it is because the game had so much unused potential, and it could have been so much more, and yeah, and people usually improve upon crappier entries on certain franchises like people are actually trying to improve Sonic Forces, even IDW's making like an improved story version of it. I mean, I'm not really too big on on that one either, but still, the fact that people are willing to actually improve something, even Sonic.exe of all things, I feel like that the cars are driven to win would not be any different. After all, there's a lot of things I can improve from this. So what you're seeing right now is the race modes for Cars You're Driven to Win, and I'm calling Cars You're Driven to Win rewritten. So since I don't really have much experience in game developing, I'm trying to make this like a some sort of YouTube series of how the canon events actually play out. So this game will have a story mode, and the story mode will take place right after Cruz Ramirez won the Florida 500. And I mean, yeah, I'll probably spoil the third movie once you enter story mode. But yeah, but yeah, it'll. But yeah, I we have to start somewhere, and that will be the game's tutorial level on how to race. So and then after you beat the level, it'll be Cruz telling the story of how she won the Florida 500 and became a part of Dynaco, and and then McQueen and Cruz start. The story will just be basically McQueen and Cruz training for several different Piston Cup races, and yeah, so it's basically Cars the video game for the next generation. So yeah, so that's basically the story, and what you're seeing right here is the race modes for Cars Are Driven to Win rewritten. So there's actually a lot more than just four regular modes. And I've actually removed battle races and takedown, but not entirely because they're actually DLC right here. So so the most and foremost one is the boost race, which is obviously your standard road race with boost and all that, and it's still gonna play like Cars City video game, but without the weapons, because Avalanche is making the game, and it would only make sense for them to have that similar style. But the boost race master level event, or boss level, I should say, won't be until like the fifth level. So and that boss level would go to Chick Hicks, since the takedown one is not there. And of course, there's still gonna be like 5 billion Chick Hickses trying to race you at once, because that's pretty much and of course that's basically what that's basically one of the best parts of the original Driven to Win. Chick Hicks just filling the field with himself. But I digress. Anyway, we have the Gauntlet Race, which is a brand new mode, and I actually took inspiration from it from the NASCAR Technics games. And how the Gauntlet Race will work is that you have to complete one lap of a race, and you'll earn points. And then on the second lap of the race, you'll start the opposite position of where you finish. Like if you uh, finish first, you'll start last. So, and then you have to work your way up and win the most points, and whoever has the most points at the end of that race will be the winner. And of course, Cal Weathers will be the master level event character of that. Stunt Showcase, Mater the Greater is not here. He's replaced by Smokey. And yes, clone characters have been removed from the game. Well, not entirely, because you can just. I'll explain it later when we get to the character roster. Anyway, next is the tag race, which is Miss Fritter, because I feel like a tag race, and I actually got inspired from it from playing Sonic Forces Speed Battle, which is the good Sonic Forces. Don't at me. So I feel like it would fit Miss Fritter's character because she is very keen on contact, like a Demolition Derby, and I feel like that's the closest thing to a battle race for a Miss Fritter boss race. And yeah, so the tag race, if you don't know, if you're unfamiliar with it, you have to lead the first lap. Whoever leads the first lap will get an object. say like a canister or a trophy or something, and the card to cross the finish line with that thing wins the event. You don't even have to be in first place in order to win. You can still finish in last place with the trophy or whatever you're holding, and you can still win the event. I mean, it kind of sounds easy, but the AI can bash you back, and that's how you can get the object. Next is the Eliminator level, which actually was in Cars the video game, Cars 2 the video game on PSP, and in the DS and 3DS versions as well. And of course, it's going to work like in the timer format, and it's also similar to how the Utentix NASCAR games does. So yeah, and the master level boss level event will be Natalie Certain, because I feel like that she would probably be perfect for that. And of course, the Piston Cup race. And the Piston Cup races are basically like how they are in Cars video game, except that you can do literally anything in those races that you can do in boost races, except you cannot boost. And yeah, it is also gonna have like 20 opponents or something like that. So yeah, so those are the boss levels, and we'll get on to the character roster. Okay, so here is the character roster I've set up for Cars 2 Driven to Win Rewritten. And it's important to note that the clone characters do not exist, as I previously stated. If you wanted to pick an alternate version of a character, you have to highlight that character, say McQueen for example, and he would you can change. You can choose whatever skin you want. Like you can choose the Cars 1 paint job, the Cars 2 paint job, any of his Cars 3 paint jobs, and of course his Fabulous Lightning McQueen paint job would be unlocked after the movie came out, if this came out in 2017. Then we got Cruz Ramirez, obviously. Then you got Mater, and it's important to note that a lot of these characters will have their original voice actors, unless if we can't get them otherwise. Mainly, I'm looking forward for the main cast and of course the NASCAR based drivers, but we'll get to that later. Of course, we got Mater, and Mater Grader is now integrated with normal Mater. You got Sally, even though she's basically one of the reasons why Driven to Win is a low budget. They got Ramon, and I felt like putting Ramon here because of his intro paint job, and that's probably why he was playable in the first place. Luigi, because I made Luigi playable by default because he was originally going to be playable, but Avalanche decided no for whatever reason, because they couldn't find an imposter voice actor for him, but I digress. They got Guido, who actually will have a voice. Got Bobby Swift, Brick Yarley, and Cal Weathers will be unlocked with the Master Level event. And of course, Cal Weathers will be voiced by Cal Petty, of course. They got Chick Hicks, of course, and he'll be unlocked with his Master Level event. Same goes for Natalie Certain. And the reason why Natalie Certain was actually playable in it, I think, is actually because of the fact that her diecast was very popular back then. And she was also very common as well, which is why she was so popular. Anyway, next is the Thunder Holocars. We got RV, Dr. Damage, Miss Fritter. We already have seen these guys. But here are the three other Thunder Holocars. Broadside and APB, they were playable in Cars Lightning League. And of course, I have Bill here because he was actually in the Miss Fritter Battle Race Master Level event in the original game. And also, he's a Pixar reference. So, people would want to play as him because he's a Pixar reference. Alright, now it's time for the part everyone's been waiting for, the next gens. How I decided to balance this out to make the next gens playable is I took one spoiler mold per next gen and make them playable. So here is Eric Breaker with the Eric spoiler. Then we got Danny Suarez. Cam Spinner, I chose Cam because he has an Easter egg sponsor. H.J. Hollis. Then you got JP Drive because he's an Easter egg sponsor. And of course, Paul Conrad. I chose Paul Conrad because his design basically stands out from every other next gen, especially the Danny models, and I've limited him out to what I can use because, well, you know, color limitations. Anyway, next is the 10 models. We have Bubba, Ryan, Chase, Tim Trellis, Rich Mixon, No Gocek, and of course, I mean, he's not a background gracer, but you got Jackson Storm as well. So, once again, you have different spoiler mold per character. And then finally we have The Thomasville Legends, Junior Moon, Louise Nash, and River Scott. I don't have Louise Nash or River Scott, but here's some representations of them. And of course, here's Smokey and Mac. Mac will be unlocked the same way as he was in the original. Find five Mac Cats in the Thomasville Playground. And after beating every single skill check in the game, and I don't know, or after beating the game 100%, you get to unlock Doc Hudson. And he'll probably use like Cars of Video Game Paul Newman voice clips, because let's be honest, there's a reason why Pixar doesn't want to use Corey Burton, and they forgot he even existed. Anyway, so those are the original characters. Now let's get on with the DLC characters. With what possible DLC packs that could be in the future. Alright, so first off, we have the first Pixar pack, which includes Woody, Mike, Flick. I don't have him, but this is just a representation of him. And of course, Mr. Incredibile, who is actually in Cars 2, as a little cameo. Then Pixar Pack 2 would have Buzz Lightyear, Sully, P.T. Flea, and Elastigirl, Elasticar, who would actually be exclusive to this game because she never made a cameo, even in Cars 2. Anyway, next we have the Raider Springs pack, which have Flo, Sheriff, Fillmore, Sarge, and we'll get to Lizzie later. Anyway, we got the DRH pack, self-explanatory. You have the Racing Legends pack with Leroy Hemming, King, Mario Andretti, and Todd Marcus. I was originally going to do Daryl Cartrip, but because he already is the commentator in those level in Driven to Win as is, I decided to not include him. Anyway, next is the Cars 1 pack, which will have Lizzie, Aiken Axler, Claude Scruggs, and the Pizza Planet and Todd the Pizza Planet truck. And I decided to pick these two because they're the most iconic. Anyway, here's also the Cars 2 pack, which has Finn, Holly, Francesco, and Jeff Gorvette. I chose Jeff because he was the only other speaking World Grand Prix racer beside Francesco and Lewis Hamilton, and Hamilton did not make it into Cars 2 for a reason. So, and of course, Jeff Gorvette will have his Cars 3 paint job in that DLC. And in fact, I should mention that all the paint jobs that come with the characters in the DLC you'll buy with them. So, not just by themselves. Anyway, next you got the World Grand Prix pack, which has Max Schnell, Miguel Camino, Ross Rule, and Carlo Veloso. Then we have the Tokyo pack, which has Kabuto, Shutoroki, Dashu. I don't have him, so bear with me. And then you also have Chuki, which I also don't have. Then we have the Lemon pack with Miles Axelrod, Acer, Graham, and Professor Z. So the main lemons and the main antagonists of the Cars 2 movie. Next, we got the Lightning fan pack, which will have Fred, Mia, Tia, and Maddie McGear. So, yeah. And this one might be a little bit of a stretch, but I would like to see it anyway, which is the Queen's Gang pack, which, of course, is self-explanatory. So, that's basically all the DLC that I have right now. If you want to suggest any more, you can do it in the comments below. And, Thank you guys so much for watching this long video, and I'll see you guys later.